Well, from your experience in the league, how do you know whether a team is on the right side of the line of being too old versus being tough and experienced and the kind of team that knows how to win games when it really matters to win games?
Yeah. I mean, I think, we all have aged well. I still feel youthful. I still feel young. And I still feel I can play at a high level. I think the beauty in it is having the youth around us in KO and Caleb Martin, Tyrese. Um, you need those engines as well. You need those young legs as well. Um, so I think it's just a good mixture that we have here. We have the veterans that know how to win when it matters, but then you have the guys that can kind of get us to that point where we can kind of put our imprint either as late in games or late in the season. So I think it's just having that balance. I think you can't have too many on the older spectrum, and teams aren't ready to win on the younger spectrum. So I think we're kind of right in the middle of where you need to be to compete for a championship.
Hey, Paul. Right in here in the middle. Mike Vorknoff with The Athletic. Kind of to what Keith was asking about earlier, but because you have been on teams with at least one other star player before, what have you learned from those experiences about how to assimilate to a new team, a new star teammate, and how to make sure everyone is happy and the fit is seamless, and not just on the court, but personality-wise, obviously there are egos in play. Like, what have you learned from that time that you're going to try to apply to Philadelphia that things go well?
Yeah, I've been very fortunate that the teams that I've had played on with Russ, with Kawhi, they're pretty like egoless in terms of team basketball and accepting other stars on the team. So I was very fortunate in that aspect to kind of grow and be around those guys. Um, but I mean, the conversations with Joel coming here, conversations with Tyrese, we all want each other to be themselves. That's the only way this thing is going to work. I got to be Paul George. Joel's got to be Joel Embiid. Tyrese got to be Tyrese Maxey for this thing to work and for us to learn and figure out how to play amongst one another. Um, so that was just the conversations to have. Um, oh, see Uncle Reg? Oh, we got to play it. But, for me, I've kind of never had an ego outside of my first couple years, thinking that I had to be the man from a selfish standpoint to win. But outside of that, you know, bless you. Yeah, I don't have an ego when it comes to this basketball game. I know what I can do and what I'm capable of, and I can play in any system, any style, play off any player, play with any player, and it's kind of one thing that I pride myself on.
Yeah, James Jackson, WIP. Paul, you've talked a little bit on your podcast and other forums about kind of the intensity and what it's like playing in the city of Philadelphia and for Sixers fans. Just wondering if you can expand on that a little bit. Your perspective as an opposing player coming here, what that was like, and how you think that's going to be like now wearing the Sixers colors, playing for this fan base and everything.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't click until I got here and hearing how passionate the fans were. But then going back in those moments of playing against Philly and being in big games in Philly, that's kind of where it was. I realized, like, yeah, they are passionate and they love their team and they do ride for their city. Being on this side, I'm all for it. I'm looking forward to those encounters, having those moments, and being pushed. I think it's great to have that intensity and that passion behind the fan base because it's coming from the right spot. Like, they want to win and win at all costs, and the only thing that matters is winning. And so that's how you should feel. I don't think they're doing anything out the norm. They work and they pay their hard-earned money for those seats and their tickets, and all they want is just a good product out on the floor. So I think it's deserving. I think whatever comes from it is deserving.
Paul, Joel was just out here and he said that he's lost 25 or 30 pounds. He said, his goal is no agendas as far as NBA, all NBA. He just wants to win. Not that you need extra motivation, but does that even fuel you even more when you hear about what, his dedication and what he's kind of doing to get ready for the season?
Yeah, I mean, he looks great. He looks great. He looks slimmed down. But, I think we all have our own motivation going into a season. It's great that everyone kind of has their own individual motivation. But we'll put all that together and, we'll have a common ground and a team motivation to go out and win. I think, I haven't been here to really feel the magnificence of what it is to win in Philadelphia and how the fan base wants it. But from the little time that I've been here, you can tell the city is thirsty for it and the city wants one. And so I think it's just great. Everyone across the board has the same goal of trying to win a championship. I've never won one yet, so that's always the motivation for me. Appreciate it.